Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture 8 on C++ programming language. In this lecture, I am going to talk about relational operators in C++ programming language, or it's called comparison operators in C++ programming language. And these operators are used to compare two operands or two values together. And the result of the comparison is a Boolean value, or true or false. True in C++, 1, and false is 0. So any value is 0 in C++ is called, it's, can say the false, and any non-value zeros in C++ programming is called true. So let's start. So it's our lecture 8. So I write here relational operators, or it's called comparison operators. It's used comparison operators. Okay, so first, these operators are used to compare two values together. Either one value is greater from another value, either one value is equal to another value, with another value, either one value is less than another value. So it compares two values together, and the result will be true or false. So first we have equal to. So first we have to equal. These operators are called equal to. It means it compares two values for equality. Like I can say integer result is equal to 5 equal to 5. So, or we can say this one, we can call it Boolean. So inside the result variable now we have true, which is 1. So it means if two values are equal together, so the result of those values become true or 1. So equal to operator is used to compare two values. If they are equal, so the result is true. If they are not equal, like suppose we have 4 here or 3 here, so inside the result there will be 0, so it's false. Then another operators, we have greater than. This is called greater than, which checks if the first value is greater than the second value, or if the first operand is greater than the second operand, so the result will be true, otherwise the result will be false. So it's like, if we have here 5 is greater than 3, so the result is true. So inside the result now we have 1, which is true. So it actually checks if the first value is greater than the second value. So this is called a greater than. So another operator we have, less than. We have less than operator. So it checks if the first value is less than the second value, and the result will be true, otherwise the result will be false. So how we can check? So we have less than. This is called a less than operator. This is called less than operator. So if we put here the less than operator, now what is the result of this? The result of this is false, because this 5 is not less than 3. But if we have here like 6 or 7 or 10 or 11, so now the result is true, because 5 is less than 6. So this is the less than operator. Another operator we have greater than or equal. We have greater than or equal is called greater than or equal. So if you see, it's a compound operators, so two operators are combined here, greater than and also equal than. So it checks if the first value is greater than the second value, the result is true, or the first value is equal to the second value, so it's the result is true, otherwise the result is false. Like here, like I can say here, yeah, so in this case 5 is greater than or equal to 4. It means the first operand, this value, either should be greater than this value, the second value, or it should be equal to the second value, so the result will be true, otherwise the result will be false. So now in this case you see 5 is greater than 4, so the result is true. If we have here instead of 5, the second value should be 5, this is also true because 5 is equal to 5. So it checks two situations. Either the first value should be greater than the second value, the result will be true, or either the first value should be equal to the second value, so the result should be true. So this is called greater than or less equal to operator. So another one we have here, less than or equal to. So we can say less than or equal to, so it's called less than or equal to. And if you can see here, again we have a compound operators. So we have the less than operator and the equal. So it checks either the first value should be less than the second value, the result will be true, or the first value should be equal to the second value, so the result should be true, otherwise the result is false. So in this case, like if we can check here, let's put here a value. So I can say here 5 is less than like 8. So now if you can see, this is the less than or equal to operator. So it means it checks for two situations. First, if the first value is less than the second value, the result will be true, or if the first value is equal to the second value, the result will be true, otherwise the result will be false. So in this case we see the 5 is less than 8, so the result is true. And if we have another value here, like I have 5, so in this case also the result is true because it's also checked for equality. So if we can check, is 5 is less than that, the 5 is less than another 5? No. So the 5 is equal to another 5, or the first value is equal to another value. So in this case it's true. And we have another operators in this range, in this which is relational operator. It is called not equal to. Not equal to. Not equal to. Not equal to operators means if the first value is not equal to the second value, the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. It's the reverse of equal to operator, like this, the reverse of this operator. Like in this case, in our example, we see here integer result. I can see here is 5 is not equal to 6. So in this case, you see the first value is 5 and the second value is 6. So it compares and it says if 5 is not equal to 6, return true. So in this case, 5, the first value is not equal to the second value, so the result will be 1 or true. But if we have the second value will be 5 instead of 6, so in this case it says 5 is not equal to 5. No, 5 is equal 5. So in this case the result is false or 0. So it checks the not equal to operator checks if one value of the first value is not equal to the second value, so the result should be true. Otherwise, the result is false. If two values are, equal, so the result is false. So in relational operators or comparison operators, we have operators which are used for comparisons. So we have, equal to operators, which checks equality. Like if one value is equal to another value, the result will be true, otherwise false. And we have greater than operators, which is used to check if the first value is greater than the second value, or the first operand is greater than the second operand, the result should be true. And we have less than operator, less than operator, which checks if the first value is less than the second value, it returns true, otherwise returns false. And we have greater than or equal to, which checks for if the first value is greater than the second value, is returned true, or the first value is equal to the second value, it returns true, otherwise false. Then we have less than or equal, which checks either the first value should be less than to the second value and the result should be true, or the first value should be equal to the second value, so the result should be true. And we have not equal to, which compares two values together. If the first value is not equal to the second value, in this case the result is true. Otherwise, if the first value is equal to the second value, the result will be false. So these are called comparison operators. Hello, I'm back in my computer. We are in lecture 8. So on lecture 8, we discussed about comparison operators, or it's called also relational operators, which we talk about them on theoretical parts. And these operators are used to compare two values together, and the result of this comparison will be either true or false. It means the result is a Boolean. And these operators are usually used in C++ for checking the conditions. Like if you have a username and password, if someone enter the username and password on a form and checks if the username we get from the form and the password we get the form is equal to the username and a password equal to the database. If it's equal, so the user can log in. Otherwise, it shows a message to the user that your username or password is incorrect. So that's in real world we use the comparison operators. So we have different comparison operators, like we have equal to operators, which checks equality of two operands or two values. Equal to, like if we have integer a is equal to a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 5. So now if we check Boolean result is equal to, so we compare these two values, is a is equal to b. So now if we see out, so see out, we can say a is equal to b. So now here we declare two variables and we initialize those variables, a equal to 5, b is equal to 5. So now we have another variable which is called result, and now we compare the value of a and b together. So if a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 5, so the result of this operation will be true. It's 1. True in C++ means 1. So it is stored inside the result variable and then we print it. So let's run this program and we check. You can see a is equal to b is 1. So let me put some space here. Yeah. If we run again, so the result of comparing these two values are 1 or true. But if we put the a is equal to 4, look, now it's become 0 because the 4 is not equal to 5 here when we compare. So the result will be now 0 or false. So another operators which we have is not equal, not equal, not equal, and it is called not equal to operator. It also compares two values, but the result of this comparison is only true if two variables are not equal. So if we change this operator now to not equal, the result will be true because the value of A is 4 and the value of B is 5. So 4 is equal, it is not equal to 5. So the result will be true. If we run the program, you see, if two values are not equal, so the result will be true or 1. So this is called not equal to. But if we change the 8 back to 5, so we can see here it result 0 or false, because the value or the result of this comparison not equal to operator is only true which two numbers are not equal. So now if you put back 4, the value of A is 4 now, so you can see the result is 1. So another comparison operator which we studied, it was greater than. So we have greater than. And these operators are used to compare if the first value is greater than the second value, the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. So let's A is equal to 4. Now I make it equal to 10. And then I change this to the greater than operator. So the result is now is 10 is equal to 5. Yes. So the value is, so this one, A is larger than B. So A is 10 and B is equal to 5. So the result will be true. So if I check here, like if I change here, now if we run the program, we can see the result is 1 or true. If we assign a value of 3 to the A, so now the result will be false because A is not greater than B, 3 is not greater than 5. So the result will be 0 or false. So this was, the greater than operators. So another operator which we have, it is a less than operator in C++. Less than. So this operator is used to compare if the first value is less than the second value, the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. So in this case, if I change this to the less than operator, so if we can see now, if we run the program, we can see that it returns 1 or true because A is equal to 3 and B is equal to 5. And if we compare A is less than B, yes, A is less than B, 3 is less than 5. So the result variable now has a value of 1 or true. So the result will be true. So another comparison operator which we have, it is greater than or equal to. So we have greater than or equal to is called greater than or equal to. It means it checks two situations because this operator is a combination of greater than and equal. So it checks if the first operand or the first value is greater than the second value, the result will be true, or the first value is equal to the second value, the result will be true. So let's check it. If I put instead of 3, I store 10 to the A variable. So now if we can change this greater than or equal to, so now we can see here If we run, the result will be true because A is equal 10 and B is equal to 5. So it means the first value is greater than the second value. So now if we put A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 5, now also the result is true because it checks also for equality because we have here greater than or equal to. So it means this operator is used like if the first number is greater than or equal to the second number, the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. So we have another operator in C++ which is called a less than or equal to. So this operator is used to check two situations. Like if the first number or the left operand is less than or equal to the right operand, the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. So let's check it. If I put now the B should be 15. So inside the B now we have 15. Inside the A we have 5. So if I change this operator less than or equal to, so now I also check this one less than or equal to. Now if we run the program, we see the result is 1 because A is 5 and B is 15. So in this case, 5 is less than B. 5 is less than 15. So the result will be true or 1. If we check now, put both of them 15, like for A, so now we can check. Again, the result is true because now 15 is equal to 15. So this is called, this were called, comparison operators in C++. So we have equal to operators, which checks the equality of two numbers or two operands. If those two numbers or two operands were, equal, so the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. Then we have not equal to operators, which checks if the first number is not equal to the second number, so the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. Then we have greater than operator, which checks if the left value or left operand is larger than the right operand, the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. So then we have less than operator, which checks if the left operand or left value is less than the right value, so the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. So then we have a greater than or equal to, which is used to check if the first operand or the left operand is larger or equal to the second operand, so the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. And then we have less than or equal to, which checks if the left operand is less than the right operand or the left operand is equal to the right operand, the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. And this lecture was about comparison operators. I hope you enjoyed from the lecture. So see you on the next lecture.